demonstration. This is what we're going to make today, and as you can see, it's hot and fresh out of the oven. This is what we're going to try. You'll get to try this one because the one that I'm going to make takes about 40 minutes to cook. Okay, do you guys need to move it all? Okay. All right, so I'm going to start over here. And first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to turn on my pan and put some olive oil in it to saute. The Mediterranean diet is based on they have a lot of healthy fats that they eat, and olive oil is probably one of the primary fats that they eat. What are the health benefits of using olive oil as opposed to butter?
Less fat.
Not necessarily less fat, but what kind of fat does it have in it? Hint, hint.
Is it polyunsaturated?
Okay, olive oil has polyunsaturated fats and monounsaturated fats, which are the good fats for your heart. Okay, butter has saturated fat, which we know clogs arteries. So the Mediterranean diet was recently a diet fad that occurred about 5 or 6 years ago. And you guys are probably in middle school, so you don't remember it. But everybody all of a sudden was really interested in eating foods from Mediterranean Europe because of all the healthy fats. They realized that people from Greece and Italy and Spain seem to have longer lifespans. Thank you. So they were interested, why do they have longer lifespans? And then they started looking at the foods that they eat. And they got their answer in the olive oil and a lot of the other things that they're going to eat. Okay, another main component of the Mediterranean diet are onions and garlic. Okay, like all of our dishes, we're going to have some onions today. If you haven't figured out the simple way to peel an onion yet, I hope you are. And I'm going to mince them first, and then mince some garlic, and we're going to saute it in the pan while my oil is heating up. It's okay if you let oil heat up a little bit, and sometimes I yell at you guys for that. The reason being, as long as you don't leave it too long. You want it to get hot, but not to the point where you're leaving it and causing a grease fire. All right. So I'm going to chop up my onion first. And I'm going to cut about half of it at a time because this is a fairly large onion. Okay, we want it to be in very small pieces because you don't want to taste big chunks of onion. I'm going to go over it a couple more times, give it a rough mince. And onions are used throughout the world, and you'll notice that as we cook, you're going to use onions in just about everything. What are some of the benefits of eating onions?
Your breath.
They stink up your breath and make your eyes water. I wouldn't consider those necessarily benefits, though. What do they do for you? What are they? What food category? They're vegetables, yeah? Okay. They may not seem like vegetables because we put them in almost everything in multicultural foods and culinary arts, but they are actually vegetables. So even though you may not eat a whole lot of them in some of the foods that you make, you're still getting a little bit of a vegetable. Okay? I'm going to cut out the other half of the onion and add it directly to the pan. It's important to watch your fingers too, of course. All right. about the right size for what we're doing. Okay, to this pan we're also going to add our greens, which I'll get to after I chop the garlic. Okay, I'm just going to give that a quick stir. We want to saute these, and whenever you saute onions, you need to do so until they're kind of clear. That means that they've cooked thoroughly. You want the flavor to come out of them. Okay, so next I'm going to add my garlic. Okay, I'm going to crush it with my knife first. And that makes the peeling very easy. And again, like the onion, I want to mince this, but I want to mince garlic even smaller because it has such a potent taste. You don't want to get a huge chunk of garlic, trust me. Sometimes when I taste your guys' food, I get a big chunk of garlic. Because it's hard to chop everything into really small pieces, but that's one thing you learn as you cook. It's worth it to take the time to chop things like garlic and onions into small pieces. And actually what I do at home, I don't mince garlic by hand. I have a garlic press. And I meant to bring it in today, but it's a very simple device that allows you to mince it by just squeezing it through a tube. Okay, Derek, please put your headphones away. And come away. And it captures not only the garlic, but also the juices that sometimes you lose when you're mincing it. All right, so I'm going to stir that in. And next I'm going to chop our greens. Okay, I'm going to add it directly to our pan. This is about 2 pounds of fresh spinach. I've already washed them. So next I'm going to cut off the ends. Okay, we just want to use the leaves for what we're doing today. And the tail ends, or the little stems here, they're not bad for you. They're not going to hurt you. They actually probably have a lot of fiber, but they're kind of rough and they don't have a lot of taste to them, which is why we're taking them out. Okay, the greens are another secret behind the Mediterranean diet. Okay, this is a lot of spinach, and when you cook spinach, it changes a little bit from a big bulky vegetable. It's going to wilt and really condense down. I'm going to add it slowly. Notice I barely chopped it, just into a little bit of a smaller piece. And I have some stems in there, and that's okay too. But the spinach is going to condense down. And whenever you buy frozen spinach, you're actually 1 block of frozen spinach, which is about a cup, has about 6 cups of fresh spinach in it. And that is full of vitamins and minerals. Spinach is known to be one of the best leaves you can eat because of their vitamin. I'm stuck on vitamins and minerals today. My other classes are doing my plate and vitamins and minerals, so we've been talking about that all week. So that's why I'm on such a health kick today. All right. So this is going to wilt down, and we want to get all the moisture out of it, so we do want to let it saute for a moment here. While I chop the green onions, I'm going to add a little bit of kosher salt to it to give it a little bit of flavor. And I'm just going to let it cook on its own here. And I'm going to chop some green onions, which have a little bit of a different flavor than the yellow onions I already chopped. Okay, for green onions, you want to chop the little finger-like projections off and toss them. And I'm just going to give this a kind of a small, rough chop. to this part of the dish, I'm going to add some fresh parsley. I'm going to pass around a little bit of it. I want you to smell it and just kind of think about when you use dry parsley. Okay, we use dry parsley for a lot of different things. Okay, we've used it in the ravioli, we've used it in a lot of different things. The difference between fresh parsley and dried parsley, besides the taste, is really the texture. With fresh parsley, you're getting a fresh, crispy texture, which is what we want, which is why it's good to use fresh